Number 8. The fans who ruin cheap beer night. Imagine getting a ice cold beer at a baseball game for a single dime. That was the reality during 10-cent beer night in Cleveland in 1974. It was a promotional tactic to bring in more fans into the stadium. It worked, but it worked too well. Over 25,000 people showed up. And while there was a limit of 6 beers per purchase, there was no limit on how many times you could get in line. By the ninth inning, the stands were filled with belligerently drunk fans, and it became chaotic. Fans threw firecrackers and food onto the field. A fan even ran to the field naked. And finally, it became a riot when over 200 inebriated fans ran onto the field and fought the players. The Cleveland Indians had to forfeit the game, and riot police were called in to restore order. Because of this one night of chaos, cheap alcohol promotions were effectively banned across the league, and glass bottles were permanently removed from stadiums forever. Number 7. The tourist who crashed a drone into a national treasure. In August 2014, a tourist from Netherlands named Theodorus van Vliet decided to try to get the perfect shot of the Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone National Park. This is the largest and most iconic natural hot spring in the United States. He lost control and accidentally crashed his drone into the center of the pristine spring. This was a geological disaster because the picturesque bands of colors was possible from the various forms of microbial organisms residing in different temperature zones, and the plastic and lead from the battery could potentially alter the chemistry of the pool, essentially damaging and infusing it. This high-profile crash was the final nail in the coffin, solidifying a nationwide ban on launching, landing, or operating drones in all national parks. Thanks to this crash, if you want aerial footage of a park, you better be a bird. Number 6. The writer who made Disney ban selfie sticks. We all know that person who needs a selfie for everything, but one guest at Disney California Adventure took it too far. In 2016, a rider on the California Screamin' decided to pull out a selfie stick mid-ride during the high-speed loop. The ride operators, spotting the potential danger of a metal stick flying loose into the tracks or hitting someone at 55 miles per hour, hit the emergency stop button. The coaster slammed to a halt at the very top of the lift hill, trapping dozens of screaming passengers hundreds of feet in the air and under the hot California sun for an hour, and all because one person wanted a picture. Shortly after this incident, Disney banned selfie sticks from every single one of their parks worldwide. They even installed metal detectors at the gates to make sure you don't sneak one in. Number 5. The prisoner who ruined the last meal. The tradition of the last meal for death row inmates is a final act of humanity before execution. But in Texas, that tradition ended in 2011 because of Lawrence Russell Brewer. Brewer was a white supremacist who wanted to make a statement and troll the system one last time. He ordered a feast fit for a king: 2 chicken fried steaks, a triple bacon cheeseburger, a cheese omelet, fried okra, a pound of barbecue, 3 fajitas, a meat lover's pizza, a pint of ice cream, and a slab of peanut butter fudge. And when they served it to him, Brewer refused to eat a single bite. He said he wasn't hungry. He did it purely to mock the system and waste resources. The state senator was so disgusted by the stunt that he ended the practice immediately. So if you are on death row in Texas, your last meal is whatever's on the cafeteria menu. Number 4, the criminal who ruined easy medicine bottles. Have you ever struggled to peel that tiny foil tab off a medicine bottle or fought with a plastic seal that just won't break? You can blame that to an unknown criminal from 1982. In Chicago, someone went into drugstores, took bottles of extra strength Tylenol off the shelves, filled the capsules with deadly cyanide, and put them back. 7 people died, including a 12-year-old girl. Panic swept the country. Johnson & Johnson had to recall 31 million bottles, which cost them over $100 million. Before this, medicine bottles were fairly easy to open. You just twist the cap and pop it open. After this tampering incident, the industry introduced the triple seal packaging we have today. The glued box, the plastic ring over the cap, and that stubborn foil seal. The killer was never caught, but their legacy is something you fight with every time you have a headache. Number 3, the terrorist who took our water. If you've ever taken a flight, you're probably very familiar with the 3.4-ounce liquid limit at airport security. We have to throw away full water bottles and expensive shampoos because of one specific plot in 2006. British police uncovered a plan by Abdullah Ahmed Ali and a group of conspirators who wanted to blow up 7 transatlantic flights. Their weapon wasn't a traditional bomb with wires and a timer. It was liquid explosives hidden in innocent-looking Lucozade sports drink bottles. They planned to use a syringe to inject hydrogen peroxide and other chemicals into the bottles so the seals would look unbroken. They even had powdered drink mix to dye the mixture so it looked like a soft drink. When the plot was busted, aviation authorities realized their x-rays couldn't tell the difference between a sports drink and a liquid bomb. And overnight, liquids were banned completely, but later adjusted to the tiny travel-size limits we deal with today. Number 2, the man who ruined airport dignity. On Christmas Day 2009, Umar Farouk Abdulmutallab boarded a flight to Detroit. He wasn't wearing special shoes. He was wearing special underwear sewn with a packet of plastic explosive called penterythritol tetranitrate, also known as PETN. As the plane approached Detroit, he tried to detonate the chemicals in his lap. Fortunately, the bomb didn't explode properly. It just caught fire and burned him severely before passengers tackled him. But because he managed to smuggle high-grade explosives right past security by hiding them on his body, the TSA realized metal detectors weren't enough. This failure led directly to the rollout of advanced imaging technology. Those are the body scanners that show security a little more of you than you might like. And thanks to the underwear bomber, it's the reason why you have to pose with your hands on your head. Number 1, the hiker who ruined the magic bus. For decades, an abandoned 1940s bus sat in the Alaskan wilderness. It became world famous after the book and movie Into the Wild, which told the tragic story of Christopher McCandless, who lived and died there. The magic bus became a shrine for hikers and thrill seekers who wanted to retrace his steps. But the bus wasn't in a safe park. It was in deadly, rugged terrain separated by a dangerous river. Over the years, 2 people drowned and more than a dozen had to be rescued by helicopters while trying to reach the bus. It became a dangerous nuisance for the state of Alaska. And finally, in 2020, the National Guard decided enough was enough. They flew a massive Chinook helicopter out to the site. They hooked the bus up to a heavy-duty cable and airlifted it out of the wild forever. Because people kept risking their lives to see it, the ultimate symbol of wild freedom is now sitting in a secure facility. This is why we can't have nice things. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to see more.